This is Kelso Sturgeon. Welcome to another session of my College of Advanced Handicapping. Today we're going to talk about the NFL. If you missed yesterday's tape, you might want to tune in there. We talked about college football, gave away some very important information, and I think some important guidance on how to handicap the college football season and how to get ready for it. And also, as I pointed out yesterday, if this newsletter goes out by email every single week. It's a midweek newsletter. It's very, very informative. Certainly I try to sell a few things, but the truth of the matter is I'm a teacher. And in this newsletter, you're going to find out a lot of good things that can make you a better handicapper and to show you what I can do for you too. You know, for instance, I pointed out in the newsletter that my personal best club had a profit of $27,075 over the past 3 weeks. Had gone 17-7, and the $100 unit better is absolutely cleaned up. You know, you can get the entire personal best club for high rollers, a season subscription for just $499. And keep in mind, these guys knocked down $27,000 in the last 3 weeks. Get on board. I have other baseball clubs too that will interest you. But also in the letter, I pointed out that I had a very successful NBA season, and I'm pleased I closed out on a 4-1 run. The Boston Red Sox and the Philadelphia Phillies, the two best teams in baseball, with the Detroit Tigers breathing right down the neck, that might be better than either one of them before it's all over. If you haven't received the newsletter or you don't get it, call the office at 1-800-755-2255 and tell them you'd like to receive the weekly email newsletter, the midweek update. There's no obligation. You don't have to buy anything. Just call the number, 1-800-755-2255, and sign up for this free weekly midweek newsletter. And you won't regret it. You'll learn things that will help you win a bet. Also, keep in mind that I have 3 baseball services. They're all winning. Get on board and make yourself a small fortune. You can sign up for any of the baseball services right here on this website or toll free at 1-800-755-2255. As always, the price is right, and I do take all major credit cards. Now today, let's discuss the NFL, which, you know, is kind of a mess for a lot of people right now. But I want to here is the official NFL schedule. And one thing I want to assure you, this schedule may not be followed, but there will be an NFL season. Here's the hang-ups right now, and obviously nothing is a done deal till it's a done deal. But the players and the owners have made a lot of progress toward settling this player lockout that has kept these teams in limbo, and with everybody wondering whether there'll be an NFL season. Here's the one key to it all. There has to be some fine-tuning done in the process to make the smaller market teams such as Buffalo or Cincinnati a more they have to make some adaptations. These teams can't generate the revenue of the big teams, so they're trying to work out the details right now. How do you accommodate the Buffaloes and maybe even the Tennessees, the small market teams of the NFL? And once that is done, it takes 24 of the 32 team owners to ratify the contract, and it's pretty much a done deal. Once that these issues that concern the small market teams are worked out, that's the only thing left between now and a contract. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But I've had people on the inside in the NFL say this is a done deal, that it actually could probably pass the with the 28 votes right now, but nobody wants to hurt the feelings of these small market teams, and that's the status. So here's the official NFL schedule. You know, the first game, the Hall of Fame game between the Chicago Bears and the St. Louis Rams, is scheduled for August the 7th at Canton, Ohio. The opening game of the NFL season is September the 8th. We got New Orleans at Green Bay. That's a Thursday night game. And then the first full schedule is September the 11th and the 12th. Now let's hope that this all comes to pass, but I do believe at worst these things could be set back just a couple of weeks. We will have an NFL football season. The pressure from the television networks to make it happen is enormous. And no matter the strength of of some of these NFL owners who might want to be holdouts or might want to show that their egos are bigger than the game. The national television networks will prevail and will be the final thing that forces a settlement. So get ready for another NFL season, which I'm going to get into in just a minute. Might start off as smoothly as others, because believe it or not, training for a season is a requirement. You just can't show up and start playing one day, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Let's go over some facts that we know. The Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots are 6-1 co-favorites to win the Super Bowl. They're followed in by the Pittsburgh Steelers at 8-1, and then we branch out to the 12-1s, the 15-1, and so forth. So as the season begins, we have both the Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots 6-1 co-favorites to win it all. Pittsburgh is the third choice at 10-1. If I said 8-1 earlier, I'm at 10-1. And I think it's very interesting. We look at all these races in each division as we're trying to plot the season. Who's the favorite? Let's run these down. New England is the 4-5 favorite to win the AFC East. The Jets are the second choice at 3-2. The Pittsburgh Steelers are even money to win the AFC North. Baltimore is second at 6-5. In the AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts are the 4-7 favorites, almost 1-2. The second choice, Houston at 5-2, and as the old saying goes, hell will freeze over before Houston wins anything. And I'm only speaking of their past performances and the projected promise of each season, which never happens. In the AFC West, the San Diego Chargers are 1-2 favorites. The Kansas City Chiefs second at 7-2. In the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles are 3-2. The New York Giants are a close second at 9-5. In the AFC North, you've got the Green Bay Packers at 1-2 to win it all. Chicago and Detroit are 9-2. In the NFC South, you've got the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints 6-5 co-favorites to win it. And in the West, as amazing as this might sound, the San Francisco 49ers are the even money favorites to win in the West, which I think gives you some indication of just how weak this division is. The St. Louis Rams are the second choice at 11-4. Now, the one aspect of the lockout has many factors, many tentacles involved. First of all, don't think for a second that these players aren't working out. Maybe they're not working out as hard as they would be if they had access to the club's training facilities. And remember this, when they were locked out, they had to go out on their own. They had no more contracts, no nothing. They were locked out. They had to get ready on their own. Some teams are meeting, everybody, 45 or 50 players working out together every single day. Others, it's a smaller number or whatever. And then you have a handful of people who are working out individually. But I can promise you this. These teams will be close to the top of their physical condition when training camps open. There's no other way. If a guy is knocking down $3 million a year as an offensive tackle, he's sure not going to show up at camp out of shape and risk losing his starting position to somebody who actually did all the work to get ready for it. So these players will come physically prepared to play. It's the contact part of the sport that they will not have participated in, which is very, very important. In the off season, players will block on one another. They'll practice their techniques, they'll hit, and every year someone says in the NFL, running back so-and-so just got hurt in an exhibition game. Why were they even playing him there? Well, let me tell you something, my friend. You cannot play football coming off of zero contact. You need the contact to get ready for the season. That back needs to get hit. He needs to get clobbered. He needs to get the feel of the game. Offensive linemen are the same way. Defensive linemen are the same way. You've got to have the contact to get ready. It's part of the puzzle and a very important part. So that is one area that these guys may be a little behind in, because when they get to training camp, there's going to be a period of time in which there can be very little contact. The coaches have to make sure that these guys are fit and ready for the contact, so they're going to lose some days there. The issue of free agency is also going to bode very high on the things that are going to impact football teams. You know, right now nobody can sign anybody, and in these drills that these players are doing on their own, there's no contact drills because none of them have any legitimate contracts. They're not covered by insurance. A guy could break his leg, a guy could break his neck and not be covered, period, if something happened during this lockout. So the free agents, they're all looking to go somewhere else. They can't sign a contract. They don't know whether they're going to be the Washington Redskins, the Seattle Seahawks, the San Diego Chargers, or whoever. So they cannot prepare for any team's offense or defense. They don't know where they're going to be. They maybe have some idea, but there's no negotiations, there's no contact. But once the lockout is over, these guys will start to position themselves, and you'll find out where they're going. But you've got to pay attention. You know, a team could lose a top running back, could lose a quarterback, or whatever to another team. You've got to pay attention when the lockout ends as to where all these good free agents are going to go, and a lot of them will be on the move. And you know, we have the element too of just being far behind in preparation for a regular season. Now, maybe you won't realize it when you see these teams take the field, but you know, they're going to be a little bit rusty, even if they get in a full training camp, because it won't be the regular full training camp. So you can expect more turnovers early in the season. That might lead to more upsets. You know, who knows in particular? But the season will come, but these teams will not be as ready to play as they should be. You know, they can talk about voluntary workouts all they want to or whatever, but if you play in the NFL, you work out 12 months out of the year. You don't dare let your lungs shrink an inch and lose some wind. You don't let any of your strength go away. You have to stay in shape. You work, and you work with these unsupervised in these voluntary unsupervised workouts. Believe me, they're supervised and they're not voluntary. So all these things will be missing, and it's going to make for maybe a messy start. Now, the team that is going to suffer the worst coming out of the lockout will be the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee has an entire new coaching staff, and not one single player on the Tennessee Titans team has any idea as to what the offense is going to be, what the details of the defense is going to be. These guys will be starting from scratch, and I predict that they'll have a rough going at least the first month of the season. You know, every coach has his offense, every coach has his defense, he has the different little techniques he uses. They know nothing of any of these things. So more than any team in the NFL, the Tennessee Titans will be impacted by the lockout. You know, there's a lot of things to talk about in getting ready for the NFL, but the most important thing is to just remember there will be a season. It'll be a little rocky in the beginning for some of these teams, but it'll all level out. We'll have a Super Bowl, and in the process, I can promise you one thing: we're going to have a lot of winners. Once again, baseball is winning every single day. 3 services, getting the money. You can sign up for any of my baseball services at 1-800-755-2255 or on this website. All credit cards are accepted and the price is right. Thank you very much, and I'll be back here next Friday with another segment on college football, and on Saturday another segment on the NFL.